right, and here we go. We have made it. My name is Kyle McCord. It is the final Kyle McCord show here of the regular season. I got to scour your contract. I don't know what we have for postseason stuff here, Kyle. We'll figure that out in due time. But here we go, getting ready for Houston, Miami. And, man, it's fun that football's fun this time of year, is it not? Like, you've never not had it fun this time of year, but we're kind of getting on board here. And this is a blast to get ready for a big Thanksgiving weekend game.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're playing meaningful games after Thanksgiving, it means you're doing good things. And so, obviously, a big game this weekend. Got to finish it out the right way at home. So I know all the guys are excited and looking forward to Saturday. Yeah,
I feel there's been, around here, there's been some, stressful Thanksgiving weekend games, like can you get qualified for a bowl game or things like that. That was certainly the case last year, and they did, and they won and the whole thing. And this week feels like you got a chance to elevate here. Like this would be a 9th win this season. That's not nothing, right? Like I know you don't have a shot at the ACC title game or anything, but you put 9-3 out there this year. That feels like a very strong statement.
Yeah, no, 100%. And obviously, everybody wants to get to 10 wins, and you can't do that unless we don't win this one. Obviously, wish we could have a few games back this year and be in contention for the playoff and the ACC championship and all that, but. I think still on top of that, to be playing meaningful football and have some things on the line here this late. It's exciting.
All right, you guys know how this goes. Get in the chat. New day, new time. Lots of different schedules and stuff with the football team with Thanksgiving week. So we're coming here at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. But same deal. Get in the chat. Let the questions fly, and we'll get to as many as we can over the next half hour or so. Let's start with KPP Stash. He's heard you're a big fan of Mark Sanchez. Is this true? Is this why you wear number 6?
That is why I wear number 6. Yeah, growing up, loved the Jets, and he was my quarterback.
All right. Have you ever gone to Jets training camp at any point?
No. I've gone to Eagles training camp because it was closer. I've never been to Jets training camp.
Okay, it was down. When was this? 10 years ago-ish? They went to SUNY Cortland there for a few years, so that's about half hour south of here. Was a chance. All right. So how old were you when you were going to Eagles training camp? What do you take in from that as a young quarterback?
I think I was probably in elementary, middle school.
All right.
And I love football, so just getting to be up close and personal, watching those guys, it was pretty sweet.
Okay, so you're that age. Giants training camp was at Albany for many years, so I'd go. I had no aspirations to be a quarterback. I mean, as we all do, I did, but it was not realistic. I'm going to get autographs and, meet the guys. Were you being a kid getting autographs, or were you watching that through, young 12-year-old QB eyes or whatever?
No, I was too young to be, reading defenses and stuff like that, so I was just kind of amazed that, I was, breathing the same air as NFL players. And then, getting to, high-five them and get autographs after practice was pretty cool. I've always wanted to play in the NFL, so that was kind of watching, what my dream would look like in front of my eyes. So it was pretty cool.
Who would have been the quarterback? Yeah, I mean, is it McNabb, or is he gone by then to age ourselves quickly?
He was probably gone by then. It was
Vic?
Probably Michael Vick, Kevin Kolb, I think, was there too.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I want to say 2010 maybe.
Andy Reid was still there? Or,
yeah.
Okay, so tail end. Yeah, so McNabb would have been gone in 08, 09, something.
Yeah.
Something, man, we're getting old. I say we, not you. The rest of us that remember McNabb playing like it was yesterday. And, going back, McNabb, this is technically not your senior day, but you know the deal. I mean, it's your last game in the Dome. McNabb, last game in the Dome, he had himself a time. That's one of the best games Syracuse has ever played against Miami. I don't think we're expecting 66-13 this week, Kyle, though that would be nice. What's in it to go out just on a high here this week? Because that game in '98 in the Dome was an all-time celebratory moment for the guy's career, the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for a lot of guys, last time playing in the Dome, and you just want to make sure that you leave it all out there and that you don't have any regrets. Wishing that you would have done something different, maybe preparing during the week, or just leave it all out there in the field. And I think that's kind of the biggest message this week is there's nothing to hold back for.
Mm-hmm.
And so giving the fans I think what they deserve to see, and I think on top of that, giving your teammates what they deserve, and I think that's 100% effort and everything you have, as well as the coaches.
All right, any name is good wants to know this. So Ohio State is well known for the helmet stickers with the little Buckeyes. Obviously, Syracuse doesn't have that. One, did you like the helmet stickers? And two, what does Fran do that would be sort of along those lines, even though there's nothing on the helmet?
Yeah, the helmet stickers, they were good when you were playing because you get your helmet filled up. But
that must not have been fun, like freshman year, just a clean helmet.
Years, yeah, it's like
where you got one.
Yeah, it's late in the season, and guys have their whole helmet filled, and you got like 4 on the back of your helmet.
Is it better to have 0?
No, well, so how
you're like, I'm redshirting. Leave me alone.
They for every win you get 1 sticker, and then every Big Ten win you get 2 stickers.
Okay, so everyone's getting some regardless.
Yeah, so even if you didn't play, you were still getting some. But I don't know what Fran would do in terms of that.
Yeah, I said so. Say like this past week, you guys won.
Yeah.
Like what kind of accolades are like? What awards are there? What does he do after the game or during the week?
I mean, during the team meeting, you get like like offensive, defensive player of the game. I mean that's really. I mean it's quick. After you win, you go watch the film. Celebrate the win a little bit, and then it's quickly turn the page onto the next week. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Something along the lines of helmet stickers. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely have to think about that.
Yeah, Syracuse has never been I feel there's fewer helmet sticker schools than there used to be. I don't know why that would be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because there's so many different helmets now or...
That's probably why, with like all the...
Like at Ohio State, like when you went alternate helmets, did they have to sticker up your new helmet, or do those not have stickers on it?
We would wear... I've only worn a different helmet one time. We wore a black helmet my sophomore year. And they had to like transfer over the same number of stickers that you had from the
okay, that just seems like needless work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
That's just I blame Oregon for all of this. That's just too much work for everybody. All right, he had 47 stickers. Let's put them like being an equipment manager doing that, it's like we got to get their cleats. Like they need to win the game, and we're worried about stickers here. But college football stuff like that is cool. Back from a simpler time, I guess. All right, what else do we got here in the chat? Armosaurus says, nerd alert, I've been going to every home game since the mid-'90s, and this is not a question, just a compliment. He says, you have the best release, throw the prettiest ball, and the most accurate quarterback in his lifetime.
Since the 90s. So.
Yeah, so he's seen McNabb and them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big compliment.
Yeah. McNabb was a slightly better runner than you. I'm going to give him the mobility over you. I'll give you accuracy over Donovan.
I'll take it. That's fine by me.
Donovan would let a few fly high early in games every now and again when he was a little amped up out there. KPP Stash just wants to say thanks for a great season. Wishing the best for the future, and they'll be there Saturday. He'll be there with his son, so that is good to hear. All right, Ryan Mullen has been itching to ask you this since the post game of last game, and he was the one that initially brought this to my attention, that you now in one game have more passing yards than your dad did in his career. Have you rubbed it in his face? Where are we at on that?
No, I haven't. I honestly, I remember we had that conversation. Yeah. I forgot to say something to him, but thank you for reminding me. He's coming up today for Thanksgiving, so that will be one of the first topics of conversation. I might wait to bring that out until tomorrow.
That can be what you're thankful for.
Yeah, once we sit down at dinner and everybody's going around, I'm thankful that I had more passing yards in one game than you had in your career.
Yes, very thankful.
How's that?
Yeah, there we go. And good to do it in Thanksgiving week there, your dad had 441 in his college career at Rutgers. You had 470. Does it feel like a lot when you're throwing for 470? I mean, that you were within 12 of the Syracuse single-game record. And you had never thrown for 400 before, so this is well beyond what you'd ever done before, either here or Ohio State. Yeah. Do you realize that was a lot when it was happening?
At halftime, when we were running off the field, I looked up at the scoreboard, and I think I had like 330 something.
You were at 333 at halftime.
Yeah, I was
like that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really. I mean, I guess when the first 2 plays you go for 75 yards, it kind of
that helps.
Yeah, that definitely helps. But yeah, I mean, I think on top of that, like, sometimes with like RPOs, you're reading it and, you get a look to throw it on the outside and you throw a hitch route and they break a tackle and take it for, 15, 16 yards when, you threw a 5-yard pass. So the receivers have definitely been helping me out there. But yeah, I mean, 470 is a lot. But it's been fun. It's been fun just slinging it around.
We were rooting for 500. We'll settle for 470.
Yeah.
Ryan Nassib's record safe for now at 482. His came in a loss though, a tough 1-point loss in the season opener of his senior year. So you got it in a dub, which is a good thing here this last week over UConn as we get ready for this. All right, Any Name is Good wants to know. We've talked about this. We're getting closer and closer. So game Saturday. What next? Like, do you have any idea?
Yeah.
Bowl game, Shrine Bowl, draft? Like, how does that play out, and how do you organize yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even been thinking about it. Like, I'm just eyes on the finish line right now. And then, after Saturday, we'll just come up for air and, see where we're at. But I'll definitely be here, through the bowl game, obviously. We'll see where we're playing and all that and when the game is. And then obviously your schedule kind of depends on that. But yeah, I mean, I've no idea what's next for me. Just sprinting towards Saturday, and then after that, we'll see.
I know you'd like to play in the bowl game, but how tough of a process is that? Because opting out is a thing now. Like it wouldn't be you going rogue if you're like, peace out. How do you make a decision like that? Is it based on draft prep? How do you base that stuff?
I think a lot of it is where your stock is and just how much like you can help yourself by playing in a bowl game. And so for me, I think like every opportunity you have to play football, it's it's valuable, and I realize that, and so I want to go out and, regardless of who or where we play, just, go out with a splash one last time. But, obviously you have to make the best decision for yourself and your career. And, for some guys that's playing in the bowl game. Then, for other guys it's not. So we'll see. I haven't given it, too much thought yet, and discussed it a little bit with Coach Fran. Basically just said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
How many people do you involve in a decision like that? I imagine it's more than you being just like, yeah, let's go, or nah, I don't feel like it.
Yeah, obviously, it's you, the coaching staff, and then, really just your family. You want to make the best educated, and I guess you want to have the most people that you can trying to help you to make the decision, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to have people who don't have your best interest trying to make the decision for you. And so, I feel like I have a good circle, and, know who's going to be in my corner, helping me, go through this entire process. But, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like some people make, you end up, if you don't have the right people, you're in the draft. Like, this is not your case, obviously. Your eligibility's up, but you're in the draft a year early. You don't get picked, and it's like, what now? And then they don't care because they're not going to make you any money or something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, your family has your best interest in mind.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Fran. Like, my sense of him is, he talks about all the time of, I want to set these guys up for what's next. Be it the pros, be it a job, be it whatever. How important is that to him from how you sense it from the inside? I
mean, that's really all he talks about. And I think obviously everybody who's on the team playing, their number one goal is to go on and play in the NFL. But at the same time, like, the reality is it's not going to be the case for everyone. And so, Coach obviously has a lot of connections across the country, and the Syracuse alumni is all over the place. And so, he's making sure that, the guys who are not going on to the next level and playing in the NFL, that you're going to have a job, and a good job too, where you want to work and the field you want to work in. And, I know a few guys who already know they're not going to play in the NFL, and whether it's, injury or whatever the case may be, like, they're already set up. And I think to have that assurance, knowing that once I'm done playing football, that I'm set up with a job, and I'm going to be making money, and, I'm going to be living in, the part of the country that I want to live in. Like, all that is super important to Fran, knowing that, he's more than just a coach on the field. He's helping guys off the field as well.
Well, you know that. Like, way more guys have NFL aspirations than there are slots in the league, right? Like, I feel like some guys can be kind of adrift out there. Like, to have that as a backstop seems very useful. Yeah,
no, 100%. And I think, for a lot of the guys, like, football is what you do. It's your life. And, for a lot of us, it's like, it's all we know. And, like, for example, me, I've been been playing since I was 5 years old, and it's always been the top priority in my life and what I do. And when football is when your days are numbered, and your career is the number of days left in your career is limited. It's like a scary realization. For some of the guys that aren't going to be playing at the next level, but I think that Coach Fran's done a good job of making sure that they'll know they'll be prepared when they go into the real world. And like no one in the real world I think expects football guys to come in and work their butts off right away. But I think just the way that Coach Fran's run his program, it's like that you have no choice but to work that hard. So when you get to the real world, it's kind of an easy transition.
Yeah, first 2 rows of class got to be up front. Yeah. One of them rules. All right. Speaking of the future, we know you have stuff to do before then. Gavendo wants to know, would you like to coach someday?
Yeah, I think I would. Obviously, seeing it firsthand, like those lives, they're busy, and especially in college.
Yeah.
When you're not coaching, you're on the road recruiting, and it can feel like musical chairs sometimes, hopping from place to place. I think like my dream job would be probably just to be like a quarterback coach or maybe offensive coordinator. I don't know if I could do the whole head coach. They got a lot on their plate, but
they had a nice paycheck for it, though.
They do have a nice paycheck, but hopefully I can make enough money playing football where, I don't have to try to get that coaching, the head coach salary, because I can tell you from firsthand experience, Coach Fran earns every dollar in his contract. That man is always awake, always working. So maybe the quarterback coach or offensive coordinator. Yeah.
There we go. He's always awake, always working, sometimes showering, as we've learned.
Hopefully showering.
Yes, we've learned a lot about Fran here over the last 12 months or so. All right. Armasaurus wants to know this. This is not a gambling question, Kyle, but, point spreads are out there, and you guys are 10-point dogs. Do you look at that? Does that, fire you guys up, or do you just ignore that stuff?
It's hard not to see it. I think it's, all over like social media, and then if you just go to look at the game on ESPN, you'll see it. But yeah, we've been underdogs this year a few times, and I think we've won a handful of those games. So nothing new to us.
Is that a motivating factor or no?
It depends how you look at it. Me personally, not really.
Yeah.
It's not like it's
not like we'll show them.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the guys on Miami are making the spread. It's dudes in Vegas doing it. So I'm not too motivated by the point spread.
All right, any name and good wants to know. So we're talking NFL for the future. Obviously, the CFL's out there, the UFL. He thinks there's going to be a European league. Is that a fact going on right now? What have you heard any of the guys that are maybe not NFL guys talking about that? Is that options out there for people, or is that just something that you filter down to when you're not in the NFL?
No. I don't know. I haven't heard any of the guys on our team talk about those other leagues, but there's still great opportunities. I've known a few guys, trained with a few guys that played in the CFL, and they talk about how much they enjoyed playing there, and up there that's a big deal. I know they just had their Super Bowl.
Yeah, Grey Cup was last week.
Yeah,
last week. Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunities, and I think if you can play and if you can compete at a high level, there'll definitely be a spot for you to play, regardless of where that is.
All right, get your questions in the chat here for Kyle. Get you ready for Cuse in Miami, which is coming up in the Dome Saturday at 3:30 ESPN, Thanksgiving weekend. The whole deal. You mentioned your family's coming up for Thanksgiving. Break down the McCord Thanksgiving. What's on the table? What do you guys got cooking here this week?
Yeah, my dad will be on turkey duty, I assume, and then my mom is kind of responsible for everything else. And then I think I'll have a few of my teammates over, like JB and I think Derek McDonald are going to come over. And I forget what they said they're making. I think Derek's making dessert.
Are they making it, or is there?
No, well, they said they're making it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. You look worried.
I'm not worried about Derek's dessert. I'm worried about, I think JB's making buffalo chicken dip, which is not a traditional Thanksgiving food, but
okay. Well, I mean, I like that. Maybe he's staying in his lane.
yeah. So I mean, that might be a green flag, is that he's not trying to veer off and do something
like I'll make a pie.
Yeah. So I got a lot of confidence in Derek, but I think JB, I'll believe it when I taste it, I guess.
All right, Derek's a smart guy. He can follow the recipe. He can follow the steps here. All right, you're putting together your plate. What's on the Kyle McCord Thanksgiving plate? What are you going back for leftovers of?
Minimal turkey. I think you have to take like one piece of turkey just to be, I guess American. I don't know the right way to put it.
Absolutely no. You got to do your patriotic duty and eat that thing.
Yeah, but I think that. It would probably be a little bit of turkey, a little bit of mashed potatoes, and then a lot of mac and cheese, green beans. Good. I do like the what's it called, cranberry. The
sauce, or do you like you going the canned log one?
No, it's like the cranberry sauce is good.
Okay.
And then I don't load up too much on dinner, but I definitely save room for dessert. All the pies are good.
All right, pumpkin, apple. Are you
both? Yeah,
you like pumpkin?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a pumpkin pie guy.
One slice of both with some ice cream. That's the way to go.
All right, you're going ice cream, not whipped cream. Okay,
yeah,
that's a strong play. Here's what I've wondered because Thanksgiving is Thursday. It's like it's like the eating Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You're playing a very important game 2 days later. Like how do you manage like your plate volume? Like you don't want to gain 20 pounds 2 days before you're playing Miami.
Yeah, and no, you just got to go light on lunch and breakfast, and then when game time comes and Thanksgiving dinner, you got to be ready to go and put on a good performance, and then just try to move around a little bit on Friday and. Get some of the bad foods out of you, and then you'll be ready to go Saturday for sure.
All right, do you hit the leftovers hard like after the game Saturday?
No. I'm not.
Not a leftovers guy.
No.
Interesting.
Like anything, like maybe like if I go out to dinner, and I have a little bit left over, I'll reheat it, but I don't like leftovers.
Interesting. I would argue that with Thanksgiving, eating it later is almost better than eating it now.
That's a valid take. The problem with me though is like once I eat. Like say I go out and I get Italian food, I'm not going to want Italian food for another 5 days.
You like to mix it up, man.
Yeah,
and by then it's getting funky. And
yeah, exactly. Right. So I need to give it some time.
Okay, well, the good thing is you're a high-performing athlete, so you can burn off the calories if you eat it all the first time. Yeah. So there is that. Wait till you get a little older, Kyle. Okay, so there we go. We got the McCord Thanksgiving. And we think your apartment is capable of pumping out a Thanksgiving. Are you feeling good about the oven and the whole deal here?
I mean,
how often has it been used here in the last few months?
I was just about to say it's going to be.
Does it turn on?
Yeah, it's going to need to get dusted off a little bit because I eat a majority of my meals at the facility. So, I mean, that's like calling a pitcher out of the bullpen with the oven.
Get the lefty.
Yeah, I mean, we're ready to go. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, what do we got here in the chat? Lots of thank yous to you from everybody here, Kyle, for coming here this season. It certainly made it a special Syracuse football season. Any naming good wants to know, any good stories about your wide receivers' touchdown celebrations? You got any favorites of what those guys got?
I know Meeks does they call it the strike, and so they all do that.
Fran did it after one of them a few weeks ago.
I think against NC State, I saw Coach Fran doing it. I didn't realize OG spiked the ball on the first one. I had no idea that he spiked the ball on his first touchdown. So how he didn't get a flag, I'm not sure. So that's 2 times we've spiked the ball this year and have not gotten a flag. Mine against Georgia Tech on the sideline.
Oh, you're tempting fate here.
And then OG's spike to open up the game. So
I don't like tempting fate into a game where it's probably better for the other team to win for the league. Yeah. We don't need to tempt. Nobody spiked the ball in anyone's face here on Saturday. The refs may find a Miami favorable flag.
Yeah, but I'd probably say those are 2 good celebrations: the strike and then OG spiking the ball. Those are probably top 2.
All right, Ryan wants to know, all right, we know game day is going to Texas A&M for a huge game this weekend. How would you sell them coming here? Obviously, they're not changing at this point, but if you were to sell Syracuse to game day, what would you sell?
Yeah, I mean, both matchups are 10-1 versus 8-3, and I think obviously a lot of history with people graduating here and then going to work at ESPN. So how game day has not been here, I am not too sure.
The list's getting very, very short of schools it has not been to.
Yeah. So I mean, like you see, I forget a few years ago they went to like Harvard or something. So I'm sure I will make. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say by the time Coach Fran leaves, game day will have been here multiple times. I don't know. I think that the Dome is a special place, and to have the game day probably be right on the quad. That would be pretty sweet. Get a great crowd, and obviously everybody would be amped up for it to be here for the first time. So it'll come in a few years at the latest.
Yep.
And when that day comes, I'll be excited.
Yeah. That said, it would be nice maybe to get it in September or October. It might be snowing on Saturday, so
yeah.
Though that I suppose could paint an accurate portrait of what's going on. All right, last one for you here, Kyle. What Orange Ohana wants to know: what will be your best memory here at Syracuse?
Hopefully Saturday. Hopefully Saturday's a great memory just to cap off a really fun season here. But I would say so far, best memory I have here, I would say the overtime win against Georgia Tech was pretty sweet. That game was fun. Obviously down 18 points, and to come back and win at home in front of the fans was a lot of fun. But hoping to, like I said, cap off a great season with a great game on Saturday.
I like that. The best memory. It hasn't happened yet, people. Wait for Saturday. We can all remember it together. All right, man. It's been a blast doing this all season long. Been a blast having you here in the Cuse. We'll see what happens come bowl season, but thanks so much, and good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, our guy Kyle McCord, getting you ready for Cuse and the Canes Saturday at 3:30.